Okay, we really like this amplifier. It's the 700 watt Stinger, but we need a little bit more power in the same amount of space. We're going to do 1600 watts with two Sound Digital Evox 800s. So this amp is good. So we're actually moving on to his friend's bike over there. So this will be migrating over there, and then we're going to use this space for two Evox 800.4s. Not a wiring rescue. You use good quality wiring. This is oxygen-free copper. We're just going to neaten it up a little bit. All right, Leo's finishing up the install on the street glide. So since we added two Evox 800s, we do like we do on all bikes. And if you see, that's the factory ground to the frame right there. So everything that was on the negative ground to the battery, we moved to the factory ground. And now we're gonna upgrade the feed from the battery to the factory ground on the frame to a 4 gauge. Of course, as always, it's gonna be Stinger oxygen-free copper. But once you remove the battery, you're gonna notice that there's two grounds. There's one on this side, right there, and there's one on this side. When you're doing big audio on these bikes, you should definitely upgrade the factory ground. It's only a couple of dollars in wiring, some ring terminals. So crimp them and solder them, and then add one to feed the battery, and then go down to this post right here. And as you can see, we added all the accessory wires, all the extra ground wires that were on the battery. We added it to that post. That way, at the battery, we only have the factory wire and our amplifier wire. It's much cleaner. It helps the current flow on the bike. It helps eliminate noises and popping. So there's one ground there and one ground on this side. Choose either one and just run yourself a 4 gauge from there to the battery. That upgrades the ground for the entire bike, and then it makes everything cleaner. You don't have 100 things bolted to the battery. There's our 4 gauge ground feed wire. We're measuring it up, figuring out the length. We're gonna make it about this long, and it's gonna go to the negative battery terminal right there. So you only need about 6 inches of wire to be able to do that upgrade. If you're doing a bigger build, then you can do a 0 gauge, but 4 gauge is good for up to 1500 watts. Okay, when you drill holes in your bag, do not make the hole too small, because that's what happens when you try and force it in through there. A hole is a hole. Look, you have a hole here, a hole here, a hole here, a hole. There's already a hole in the bag. Make a nice, comfortable size hole so the wire moves in and out comfortably. Then you could wrap it in Tessellate tape to make it fit tighter. Like, this is not smart. Like, the wire should pass through freely enough. There's already a hole in the bag. You've already ruined the bag. And there's a big ass hole over there. So you can make this hole bigger. It's okay. Don't be scared.